welcome back to the review to discuss the fact that Conor Hourihane has finally signed for Aston Villa. I'm joined by Dan Bardell to do so.
Hello, Matt.
Good deal for me, absolute bargain deal for us, and he fits the midfield so perfectly, and he's what we've needed.
This is the big signing. I know it's not for an astronomical fee or anything like that, but he's the one I really wanted. He's been one of the most complete players in the Championship this season, coming off the back of a very good season in League One. He does a bit of everything. He seems to do most things well in midfield, and you add him with Lansbury, and hopefully some of the other midfielders will also continue to up their game, and we've got now much better balanced in midfield than we were at the start of January, just by virtue of him being left-footed. This is a great signing for us.
So obviously, Dan, this is a big deal in terms of the fact that he's got one of the best average ratings this season as well, and as you said, left-sided midfielders are hard to come by previously, and we've finally got somebody that is left-footed and can fit the bill and hopefully slot alongside. And a three-man midfield, to me, where it could work best.
Well, yeah, we've now got the option of obviously Lansbury and Hourihane are definite starters as it stands, but I actually thought West would look better with a better midfielder against Preston in Lansbury. So I think you've got the option of games that you're expecting things to be a bit tough, of playing Jedinak at the upper end of the diamond, the more defensive end, but you could rotate him and Westwood to make yourselves a bit more attacking, because obviously Westwood's distribution is a lot better than Jedinak, so it just gives you more flexibility and gives you more options, and you can play midfield diamond, you can play midfield three, or you could play Lansbury and Hourihane in a two, and they do a bit of everything. So for me, the squad just looks so much healthier now, and the bench will be stronger, just the whole setup will be better, and I'm really hopeful now that we can go on a run.
Well, previously at Barnsley this season, with Marley Watkins, one of their main strikers, they had the most productive partnership in the Championship. Do you think he can form something very similar with Jonathan Codger, for example, when he comes back from the African Cup of Nations?
I think the person he'll probably link up best with is, depending on where Grealish plays, if he's floating around from the left or playing behind the striker or playing behind two strikers. I think Grealish will benefit from having better players around him. I think sometimes he's perhaps looking for passes and people aren't making the runs that he's expecting them to make. I think he'll get the ball quicker. Now with Hourihane and Lansbury, he doesn't always get the ball as quick as he wants it. I think it will free him up a bit more, and I just think he'll link up better with more clever players, like he did with Delph, Cleverley, Benteke back in the days. At this level now, that's a midfield that should be dominating games.
For me, it goes down as the best midfield in the league now, and there's no excuses when it comes to especially goal scoring as well. Obviously, Hourihane scored a fair few this season, as you can see with his stats, and the same for his assists as well. He's the complete midfielder that we've craved for so long, and another guy that can make those forward runs, and he can take a decent set piece, which is something we've lacked again for some time.
The other thing is as well, I suspect he's on the cusp of becoming a Republic of Ireland international. I don't think he's been called up to any squad yet. He certainly hasn't got any cap, so you'd imagine he's close to becoming an international player. He's on the best form of his career, and Steve Bruce, I think, knows him as well from his time at Sunderland. He was with the Sunderland Academy and I think was highly rated by Bruce, so he obviously wants to work under Bruce again, which is positive. I don't have a bad word to say about this signing, because I think it ticks so many boxes, and I think we're going to be a better football team because of Conor Hourihane. What do you think happens now to the likes of Tishibola and Gardner, who's obviously signed a new contract recently, because that puts them well down the pecking order in my eyes now. What do you think the future holds for them?
Well, I think that when you look at the likes of Gary Gardner, their career is stunted massively after the game against Cardiff City, when him and Ashley Westwood obviously came off at half-time because of how bad they were playing, and Tishibola sort of came back into the fold a little bit more recently. I don't think their hopes are over in the Villa shirt, but for me, I think there could be one midfield potentially leaving. I wouldn't rule that out, and I think in fairness as well, though, it opens up to a three-man midfield now in the diamond shape, as we've touched on, and it gives you the options, really. I think that it could either be Tishibola with Hourihane and Lansbury, it could be Westwood with Lansbury and Hourihane, or it could well be Jedinak with those Hourihane and Lansbury. I think that Lansbury and Hourihane are the two starters, and then it's all up to play for that other position in midfield for me.
Well, at least we've got some strength and depth there now, because it has been absolute bare bone stuff in midfield, and none of the combinations have worked. What do you think is the best combination now?
I discussed this the other day on Twitter, and I think for me at the moment, it is actually Westwood above Jedinak. and that's just because I think Westwood worked well in the three when he was alongside Cleverley and Delph under Tim Sherwood. I thought he worked really well, and to me as well, he's got a better mindset in terms of distribution than Jedinak. He's got a lot better distribution in general than Jedinak, and I think that's an important factor because Jedinak isn't the most mobile either. Westwood's got a bit more mobility about him, and I think he can do the defensive work quite well. And that's nothing against Jedinak, but I think Jedinak's great to have for experienced games, but Jedinak isn't the sort of player that can be playing on a Saturday and then playing on a Tuesday night as well.
That's fair. I reckon the days of Jedinak in a 2 are completely behind us.
I'm glad about that, to be fair, because he wasn't great, was he?
Not in a 2, no. 3, very good, very useful. 2, it's a no-no.
I think the main thing about Conor Hourihane is the way that the Barnsley fans have reacted to this deal. They've been very graceful about it, and that says a lot about a player. When fans are so graceful about the move, that suggests the player is well loved, and he's obviously got a lot of time and respect for Barnsley, and they obviously respect him back as well. And that shows a lot about the sort of player, the calibre of player we're getting when fans can respect him. Because in so many times in modern day football now, fans hate a player when they leave, but in this case, it isn't the case at all. There's pure love there.
I think they see that this is a good move for him. Obviously, his wages are going to increase dramatically, which I know we slag players off with money, but that's a big thing, especially when you've made your way up through the game like he has. He's never been on big money before, so this move for him, it makes a lot of sense. He gets to test himself at perhaps, obviously, a bigger club, although Barnsley are doing pretty well at the moment, to be fair. But that's weakening a rival as well, which is a good thing, because if we've still got hopes of playoffs, which I'm sure we have, Barnsley have as well, so we've severely weakened them and we're potentially going to weaken them again by taking another key player from them. So it can only be a good thing for Villa, I think.
Yeah, totally, I agree with that. I think that it's a great move, and overall, everything about him, that free kick against Leeds United was pure class as well.
Yeah, and I think he drove them on to that win, really. I mean, not many people expected them to beat Leeds. Leeds have been on an excellent run of form, but for him to lead Barnsley to a victory like that against Leeds when they were behind, that speaks volumes. This guy's a character and a very good footballer, so there's nothing more we could ask for me.
I think this deal's a big bargain for us. If this guy's got 3 years left on his contract, you're talking 10 million plus for this guy, and let's face it, I think we've got a really good deal. This guy's coming so cheap, and to get Lansbury and Hourihane for around 5 million and less is just an incredible business. When combined, you'd be paying about 20 million if they've all got like 3 years on the contract, for example. And to me, that's a good sign of a good, astute bit of business. And to me, signing somebody that cheap is as good as signing somebody for £15 million. It's not about the money, it's about what player you get.
Yeah, well, if you think in the summer, and this is meant in no way as a dig at Tishibola, we spent 5 million on someone who was virtually unproven. He hadn't played too many games in the Championship. We're now paying a nominal fee for someone who is one of the Championship's best players. 6 goals and 11 assists in a Barnsley side. That's some record. So imagine what he could possibly do for us. Imagine that his statistics come the end of the season, possibly. I mean, if he'd stayed at Barnsley, you'd say probably he was on for Player of the Year, best player in the Championship at the moment, wouldn't you?
Oh, totally, yeah, 100%. I think he's been the best performer, as it's shown with the stats, and his goals and assists, and just in general the way he's been playing has been immense for Barnsley. So we've got a real steal for me.
His stats are incredible. His goals and assists are incredible, but it's the facets of his game that are the most important things. He's very good at a lot of things midfielders should be good at. I mean, some midfielders are only good at certain things, but this guy ticks virtually all midfield boxes for me. I'm really, really excited to watch him play. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to seeing an actual midfield for once. I think that's a real bonus.
Well, there was the grass shoots of recovery in the Preston game, although obviously we were 2-0 up and it got to 2-2. You could see the difference it made having someone like Lansbury in there. To have both of them, that's going to be some scenes for us. So
let's see what the fans think as well about this. Comment below what you think about the sign of Hourihane. How good a buy is this? And also like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the Villa View, your post notifications on, so you see everything first before anyone else does.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.